We are at the end of the day here.
She was
One second. At the end of the day here at Saratoga, and Bullseye Handy happened, the Eagle Buster approach to playing the races, and I'm blown away. I'm blown away by everything that's happened the last 2 days, in a good way. I don't even want to think about making an investment after seeing what I've seen, Saturday and Sunday and other days too, where, I actually can play an energized way where I'm playing against, not even considering contenders and looking at priced horses. And whereas before, and I'm not using horse racing data at all, and I can't tell you how much better play can play without the ego. I mean, Andy Sterling embarrasses himself with his ego on the shows and stuff. The other thing that's been unbelievable is all the golden nuggets you get from the professionals. I mean, look at today, Maggie again with the one horse saying that the horse is going to be able to be up front at 19-1. There's definitely a speed bias on the track, I think, on the dirt. So I think that that made Chief Wallaby vulnerable, and I saw that, but I'm not playing that game anymore. I wanna play the game where my focus is on the dismissed horses. In that situation, I could see myself playing, a dollar super against Chief Wallaby with the 5 because of the fact that the 5 had such an advantage with the speed, over Chief Wallaby. Chief Wallaby will do fine, down the road when he gets a track that he can run over and also just be relaxed and comfortable. He's just a goofy horse. I mean, he's not a horse worthy of grade 1 to me anyway. But that's really not the big deal here. The big deal here is, the results. I mean, just the results of the races from the 7th. I mean, was it the 7th? I think it was the 8th. And like I said, I only started getting going in the for example, in the 7th race. Yeah, the 7th race, the 6th horse was one of the dismissed horses. And he made the super at $110 for a dime. So that was phenomenal. The 8th race, was bada boom. I mean, this was the race of the day. I mean, you had the one contender, and then you had 5, 1, 7. All 3 of those horses were, dismissed horses. So especially the 7. So, this race here, and again, just unbelievable. And I've seen this before, where the 12 furlongs is a distance that a lot of horses aren't used to. So the uncertainty and of getting, the possibility of getting a result like this in the dime super is good. And this is the education. This is the education you get. You practice. So I'm practicing my kung fu, right? I'm practicing my kung fu to see what's the mojo, so that I have a felt sense down the road. Next week when I play, when I get started, I've already have a week of practice, of practicing, what the deal is. And as you can see, the contenders are all winning. Every race, the contenders won. None of the ego buster horses that like to run 3rd and 4th, won the race, but they come 2nd and 3rd and 4th. So this race here was phenomenal. And then you get to the 9th race at Saratoga, and again, the longest shot on the board took 4th. The contender took the 5 was a contender, I think, and The 6 was, contender, and I was against Chief. So here's another break. I mean, it was just awesome. Now you're going into the 10th and the 11th race at Saratoga, and after seeing first, 7th, 8th, and 9th, that's where I needed to have been. I needed to be in these races, 7, 8, and 9, not 10 and 11. And I wasn't going to be in 1 through 5 and 6. So it was 7, 8, and 9. And so what I would do next time is I would put the bets in advance, and just I have to be able to select which races, and get wowed. I didn't get wowed today by any of these. I had tickles, meaning I felt things and had experiences that I'm just. But the fact that these horses, the horses that you dismiss. Remember, I'm just playing the race, so I didn't have to. I would if I would have played. Pick 3s, pick 4s, pick 5s. I would have lost because I'm looking at dismissed horses. Not one dismissed horse won. And they might win in the 10th and the 11th, but it doesn't matter at this point because the opportunities were in the 7th, 8th, and 9th in my mind. Even if in this next 2 races something happens, it doesn't matter. It's basically like I said, in Kung Fu, you're practicing your kata. This is practicing the kata of making a crystal clear clarity board with on every race, and then focusing my attention on horses that I think can be 4th, 3rd, or 2nd, and again, not with any kind of major investment on the win pool, mainly on 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, because that's where they're gonna run, and you can get paid, and you can have enjoyable experiences. Yeah, you got to get lucky, like when 9 or one of the dismissed horses took 4th. He got lucky because he the 9 horse would have beat him on the inside, but he got all messed up. But that's what you want. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for to get lucky. You're not looking to figure it out because of horse racing data. You're just looking to get lucky and then get paid. And again, training myself to be a winner is sitting out and watching from the bleachers until I got the Kung Fu down, perfectly, to where, I don't have to think about the bet. The bet makes me. Again, I don't have to think about the bet. The bet makes me. And when that happens, I'll pull the trigger. My subconscious, the other guy, the boss, will pull the trigger. But until then, I'll wait and I'll wait. I'm 70 years old. I've played, hundreds of thousands of races over 40 years. And, now it's passing races and only playing 10% of the races I used to play. And less than that. 250 races is way too many races per year. It's basically wanting to gamble versus wanting to make an investment in a race. So this, doing the kata, I saw perfection. I saw perfection over and over and over again, and that's what you need. You just need to see a result happen over and over again. Yeah, you got to get lucky, and yeah, you got to be in the right races, and that's what I'm trying to teach myself. So that's about it. I'm done, and I'm just happy and love to talk to you guys another time. And anybody wants to say hello again, 475-206-6569. Energized handicapping. Ego buster approach. Bye now.